Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here with your next rose review and a really important introduction from English rose breeder Harkness Roses for you today. Bred, introduced and named at the Chelsea Flower Show in 2022, this pure brilliant white Florabunda rose is called Dame Deborah James. Now, Dame Deborah James was also known as Bowel Babe on the internet, and once diagnosed with bowel cancer, which she unfortunately sadly passed away from later on in 2022, campaigned tirelessly for cancer research, raising awareness, podcasting, and appearing on TV, raising money for Cancer Research UK. This is a charity rose from Harkness Roses, and £2.50 from every single plant sold goes directly to Cancer Research UK. But this is an absolutely fabulous Florabunda rose, which produces wave upon wave of pure, brilliant white, highly fragrant flowers, all the way from the beginning of June through to the very, very first frosts. So you can still find this rose often in flower in late September, early October, and even into early November if we have a particularly mild season, creating a very upright and very, very pleasing shrub reaching around 3 foot tall and around 3 foot wide. It produces stems in small clusters and sprays, threes, fours and fives, but sometimes individual blooms borne on very upright and sturdy stems, making Dame Deborah James absolutely perfect for growing in the midsection of a border or in a large patio container, as it's really very, very manageable. The stems are strong and upright, making it absolutely perfect for cutting and bringing into the house, where you can enjoy its absolutely beautiful blooms, which are packing a real punch in the fragrance department. Foliage wise, it has high gloss, very, very broad foliage you can see here, really quite large for the size of plant if I bring my hand in there for scale, measuring almost 5 to 6 inches long and about 4 inches wide. It is really, really wide, very, very high gloss, dark green and incredibly shiny, very as you would expect from Harkness roses. There is also a small amount of barbing along the leaf axil, but these leaves are really quite large, so incredibly easy to remove if you want to bring Deborah James into the house and cut it and use it in a floral arrangement. Home trials have seen this particular rose hold for about 5 or 6 days in a vase, so it does cut particularly nicely. It looks very much like a hybrid tea before it opens, that telltale hybrid tea swirl in the very, very center of the flower, which holds for me a little bit of peachy pink, a little bit of shell pink right in the very, very center, before the flowers open to a very, very telltale Harkness rose shape. A lovely loose rosetted center with the petals curling ever so slightly around the very center of the plant. A complete pure white flower, which is almost sort of snow white in color. It really, really is very, very pretty, and combined with that dark emerald green foliage makes for a really nice color combination. This one has a small amount of barbing. I'm going to be registering this one with a medium thorn count today. Disease resistance, I'm pleased to tell you that Dame Deborah James performs really well in heat, and of course fends off black spot, mould and mildew really well. It's been a very challenging season this year in 2025 and has stood up really well. So I'm going to be awarding Dame Deborah James a 7 out of 10 for disease resistance. It's really in the fragrance department this rose really continues to excel. And although my top 100 and my top 50 is already written for 2025, with the scores I'm giving this rose today in 2026, you can expect to see this one registering well within my top 60, even breaking momentarily into my top 50, which, considering I've actually reviewed well over 200 roses, is a very, very good placement for this rose indeed. Fragrance wise, it's packing a real front punch, and I'm going to be awarding this a 7 out of 10 for fragrance today. It's incredibly sweet, citrus based, with notes of lemon and, more importantly, Mexican orange blossom, which makes it really, really very desirable. Dame Deborah James from the Harkness Rose Company all round is an absolutely fabulous rose for growing in full sun or ever so slightly dappled shade. This particular rose is going to need something in the region of about 5 to 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. So don't put it into deep shade if you expect it to produce wave upon wave of these beautiful pure white flowers all the way from June through to the end of October. A really lovely rose from the Harkness Rose Company, with £2.50 from every single purchase going directly to Cancer Research UK. You can buy this one with confidence, knowing that you're also helping a charity at the same time. I know Dame Deborah James wanted her daughter possibly to carry a bouquet of these beautiful pure white flowers on her wedding day, and I can think of absolutely nothing better to mark such a wonderful celebration. It's a really lovely rose for cutting and bringing in a house where you can also enjoy its wonderful form and fragrance. So today's rose is Dame Deborah James.